Welcome to Module 2, Lesson 3 of the AMZ Affiliate Bootcamp. I'm Grant Worley, and Tung and I are super excited about this lesson we got for you today. We can both get a little bit nerdy when it comes to keywords because once you dive into it and you learn how to use them, they can be really lucrative and kind of fun to play around with. So let's dive into things. Today you'll be learning a couple key concepts. First off, what is a keyword? Secondly, what makes a good keyword? And finally, the different types of keywords and the significance of those differences. And a hint with regards to that is that some of those types of keywords are much more valuable than others. So what are keywords? Keywords are simply phrases people use when searching for something online. Most marketers divide keywords into three main categories, and the categories being head keywords, body keywords, and long tail keywords, which I'll be explaining in just a second. So head keywords are usually single word keywords with a very high search volume and competition. These keywords generally should actually be avoided because they don't convert very well and they're almost impossible to rank for. So some examples might be cooker, juicer, dog training, etc. Right? So you have no idea what a person's actually looking for if they're Googling cooker. They could be looking to fix a broken cooker, buy a new cooker because their old one broke, or learn how to cook recipes in a cooker, right? So there's no way to know. And it's also massively competitive. There's no way to rank for single term keywords like that. The second category of keyword is body keywords. These are usually 2 to 3 word phrases that get decent search volume, probably at least 2,000 plus searches per month, but they have lower competition than head keywords. They can convert better than head keywords, but are still pretty competitive and still not super clear at all the time exactly what the person's going for. So, for example, you might have something like best juicer or best cooker or dog training tip. It's a little bit more specific in terms of what they're going for, and you can be more targeted, and it's going to have a lot less competition, but it's still generally pretty competitive. But we're going to get into the third category, which is the one you should be paying most attention to. The final category of keywords are called long tail keywords. These are keywords that are usually long phrases with 3, 4, 5, or even more words and phrases. They're very specific with very clear user intent, and even though they generally don't get much search volume individually, sometimes you might have long tail keywords with as low as 10 searches a month. When you add them up, they can end up making up to 80% of all online searches across the internet. And the cool thing about these is it's usually pretty easy to rank for many of these at once with a single article, for example. So these are the ones you should be mostly focused on. So long tail keywords are the key target for our websites because they're generally super easy to rank for, and they also convert very well. So you don't have the massive competition or ambiguity of head and body keywords. So for example, you might have something like best masticating juicer for leafy greens, or best pressure cooker for beans, or dog training tips for jumping. Those are very, very specific. You know exactly what the person's looking for, and there's no way there would be massive competition for very specific terms like that. Now, I know what you're thinking. You might have looked at the example keywords and be like, well, what makes that actually a good keyword, right? We talked a little bit about competition and search volume and things like that, but let's go through some specific criteria that lets you objectively know if a keyword is good or not. There are 5 main criteria to pay attention to for a good keyword, and those are average monthly searches, suggested bid, AdWord competition, SERP competition, and seasonality. And don't worry, we'll be explaining what all of those mean in just a second. So if they sound very foreign to you, don't worry, stay tuned. We'll be going through each one by one. So Google has a free tool called Google Keyword Planner to help you search for keywords and get an estimation of the demand for them and sort of organize your use of them. For example, if you type in best adjustable dumbbells in the Google Keyword Planner, you'll see exactly this image, right? You'll see these different numbers, competition level, related to the keyword. So let's go through each of the numbers and data points that they give you for a single keyword. First off, you have average monthly searches, which is the amount of searches per month for that exact keyword on Google. We use this to estimate how much traffic we can get when we rank for keywords. So how much traffic you'll end up getting depends a bit on how high you rank in the search results, but if you can rank in the top 3, anywhere in the top 3, it's safe to say you'll get about 20% of the numbers that you see there, and you can use that to estimate the traffic that you'll get. Another thing you'll see on the Google Keyword Planner results is the suggested bid. This is basically an indicator of how much the traffic is monetarily worth. CPC actually represents how much people are willing to pay for a single click for a specific keyword. It also represents how much you can make per ad click if you have AdSense ads on your website. So it'll actually be about 60% once you subtract a couple of things from the number that you see there. And so higher CPC means while there might be higher competition, there's a lot more money to be made in that niche. Another thing you'll see is the AdWord competition. So it's actually really important to remember that the competition column that you see in the Google Keyword Planner is actually the level of competition for AdWord advertiser, which you are not. So it's not the competition on the search engine results page, which we call SERP. Most people call it SERP. So if we say SERP, we mean search engine results page, the ranking on the actual listing of Google. So that's the kind of competition that we care about, not so much the competition for advertisers, because we're not going to be doing any paid AdWord advertising, at least not at first. Another major consideration is the SERP competition. So again, SERP is an abbreviation for the search engine results page. So you can see, for example, in this image that this is what's ranking for the term best adjustable dumbbells. And so assessing the level of SERP competition is done by evaluating these existing ranking websites for this term. The goal is to get into the top 10 or preferably the top 3 positions in Google for the term. The last key factor to take into consideration is seasonality. Now, this is really important when you're doing keyword research because, for example, you might have a keyword or keywords related to the word Valentine's, but it's going to get really high search volume around Valentine's Day and then really, really low or no search volume the rest of the year, right? So it's really, really important to understand a distinction between a keyword that has year-round high search volume versus a keyword that might have spikes and then be 0 for the rest of the year. So searches based on trending events, for example, will also not get a large search volume in the future. So we want sustainable keywords. We don't want to spend time ranking for something that was an event that happened a month ago that'll have traffic for the next month and then die off completely. Be sure to enter your keywords into Google Trends and use this as a tool to understand whether your keyword has a sustainable search volume for the whole year or just a peak period at certain points of the year. So let's actually go through 2 examples, one of a good long-term sustainable keyword and one that's just periodic spikes. Here's a good example of an evergreen keyword example. So first off, you can see that it's growing very significantly over the years. And of course, there's dips and peaks and valleys and whatnot, but it's relatively linear growth, right? It's good long-term prospects. It looks like it's going to keep going up in the near future. Now let's look at a seasonal keyword example and one that peaks only on Christmas. So if we're looking at the term Christmas gift, then you can see that there's this massive peak around Christmas time, of course. And the rest of the year, it's basically 0 search volume. So it's really important and it's actually decreasing over time as well. So you got the linear decline, you got the extreme seasonality. This is probably not a good keyword to invest a lot of time in. Next, we're going to be going through the different types of keywords and how to use them. So there's actually a common problem and mistake that many beginners make when they first start doing keyword research. They pretty much go in, look at the numbers, and they blindly target keywords without really understanding the user's intent. They just look and see, hey, high traffic level, it's a good keyword, right? It's a little bit more complicated than that. Not super complicated, but let's go through the distinctions there. So it's important to know that ranking for high search volume keywords can get you nice traffic, but that doesn't actually mean you'll get the right type of traffic that actually converts to give your business revenue. So let me say that again. This is really, really important, and again, a common mistake. So a keyword that generates a ton of traffic may not be useful if it's a ton of unuseful traffic. And now we'll be going through the different distinctions to help you assess that. Because understanding this distinction could be the difference between making $10 or $10,000 a month from your website. So make sure to pay close attention to the coming slides. When it comes to user intent, of all the millions of keywords out there, or probably almost unlimited if you combine words differently, there's 4 key categories of keywords. And those are informational keywords, navigational keywords, commercial keywords, and transactional keywords. And they have a widely different use and value to us. So let's go through each one by one so you'll understand what each is and how to use it or whether to ignore it. First off, we have informational keywords, which is basically the I want to learn something keyword. These are the kind of searches in which the user is looking for something that they want to learn or get educated about. So some common modifiers of this keyword will be the main sort of head keyword with different versions of these words like how to, lessons, training, benefits, what is, why, recipes, etc. And There are certain keyword modifiers that also indicate problems or pain that the searchers are trying to resolve. So these actually are really good to pay attention to because they have a high conversion rate because the person has a very distinct problem. So some examples of those types of modifiers would be cure, stop, prevent, fix, get rid of, treat, clear, etc. So some examples of these informational keywords using these terms would be how to learn guitar, online guitar lessons, benefits of coconut oil, does coconut oil help acne, how to cure acne fast, and how to get rid of acne, right? These people have very clear problems, and they're trying to very obviously acquire certain information to help them solve their problem, which can be very useful to us, right? If we understand what that person's going for, that they want to learn about this problem, and then maybe they'll be interested in a related product. So there's some important things to know about informational keywords. First off, usually visitors coming from these terms, they take longer and multiple touches to convert into affiliate sales or customers, right? They're trying to learn something first, and then maybe after they acquire some information and there's some follow-up, then they become customers. These keywords are usually targeted in our top of funnel or tofu content to attract broad traffic, which can be funneled down into higher converting pages, right? It's kind of a big web that pulls in lots of traffic, which we can then funnel to other pages that might have a higher conversion rate. Basically, the way you want to use this is that they're best used as the kinds of pages on your website that are high quality educational content that attract lots of backlinks and traffic, which can then be diverted to other places on your website. It increases your overall traffic, domain authority, etc. It fills out your website, shows Google it's got lots of great content, and then overall helps you build your business. The second type of keyword is called a navigational keyword, and this is the I'm looking for this brand XYZ type keyword. Now, these are the searches in which the user is looking for a specific website or brand name, something along those lines. And common modifiers for this type of keyword is the brand name, the founder name, the author name, URL, something like that. And some examples using the AMZ affiliate and Cloud Living brands as an example, they might have Cloud Living, cloudliving.com, AMZ affiliate bootcamp, Tung Tran. They might be searching for these kinds of things to try and find related information, right? Who knows, maybe you searched one of these terms originally and then ended up in this course. So some important things to know about navigational keywords and understanding about how to use them is basically these terms alone usually have very unclear user intent, right? So nobody, like maybe people are searching Cloud Living just to see like, is this a scam? Or maybe they're searching to buy a product. Maybe they're searching because they have a friend of a friend who knows Tung. There's a wide range of reasons why somebody would be searching for a brand name. And basically, generally, navigational keywords are not good targets for us. There are some exceptions, like for example, if they're searching for brand name plus a product type keyword, it can show very clear user intent and would have higher conversion. So for example, a more long tail version, which is like buy Nike running shoes or Nike running shoes or best Nike running shoes, right? Those have the brand name to try and find something about the product, but then it's kind of getting into, then it's navigational keyword, but it's also kind of a different type of keyword as well, which we'll be talking about in a second. But basically, if you have a keyword that's mainly focused at getting the person to a specific brand website that's not yours, well, it's not really going to be super helpful for us. And there's other ways we can better use our time. Now for one of the most fun categories of keywords, commercial keywords. And this is the which one is right for me type keyword. These are the searches which the user already knows what they want to buy, but they're just looking for the best option or type or product line. Common modifiers on these types of keywords are going to be something like best, reviews, compare, versus, top 10, review, etc. Something along those lines, right? Stuff that you've probably typed in yourself when you're like, this camera versus that camera, or buffer versus Hootsuite, or something along those lines, right? And some examples of specific keyword examples along these lines would be best noise canceling headphone, noise canceling headphones review, Canon T3 review, Canon T3 versus Canon T3i versus other Canons, top 10 Canons, things like that, right? Now, some really important things to know about commercial keywords is that these keywords show very clear user intent to buy something, and they have very high conversion rates accordingly. They're also the main target for us as Amazon affiliates. And the type of content that will work very well for this type of keyword are going to be product roundups and individual product reviews. So a product roundup is like, here, let's go through and give the pros and cons of 10 different types of cameras. And then individual product reviews would be, let's have a blog post about each one very thoroughly, right? You'll learn a lot more about the specifics of these types of content in Module 3, but just know that commercial keywords, very, very important to us, and if you see keywords that fall into this category, make sure to give them extra attention. And finally, the last category of keyword are transactional keywords, and these are the AKA take my money keywords. So these are the searches in which the user has already decided on what they want to buy, and they either want to buy it immediately or are looking for the best deal on the market. So initially that sounds really great, right? Like, oh, we should definitely use transactional keywords, but there are some problems about them that you should know. So I'm going to tell you about those in a second. But first, let's get into the specific details of what transactional keywords look like. Common modifiers for transactional keywords would be buy, purchase, sale, coupon, discount, promotion, deals, bundles, etc. And specific examples might be buy Nike running shoes, like we mentioned before, Kindle Fire coupon code, Cameron T3i deals, right? The persons who's looking to just buy something, maybe at a discount, or just like get to the shopping cart, press the buy button, go, go, go. So it's really important to understand that while these initially might seem very appealing, there are some massive downsides to focusing on transactional keywords. So the main one, first off, is that they have high conversion rates, but they're usually dominated by e-commerce websites, so it can be very, very hard to rank for them. And search engines also detect the intent of their users. So they really just want to give the users the actual direct result to buy the product versus an affiliate website first. So usually we don't even see affiliate websites ranking for these types of terms. Essentially, the purpose of an affiliate website is to give somebody more information and sort of guide them and help them along their purchase path, right? If a person's already ready to buy, then in some ways it makes sense that Google just wants to help them buy versus help them find out more information from our affiliate website, because our affiliate website's not actually selling them something directly, it's providing more information. And so if they're ready to just buy, Google's going to probably do the best it can to skip the middleman and give them straight to the product seller. Essentially, in our experience, keywords with terms like coupon, discount, promotion, bundles, deals, etc. So in general, transactional keywords are not ones that we want to focus on. Although in our experience, keywords with terms like coupon, discount, promotion, bundle, deals, etc., they can be highly profitable, although they generally don't get as many searches per month. So again, not a major thing to focus on. Awesome. So now that you understand what a keyword is, what a good keyword is, and how to evaluate and utilize different types of keywords, make sure to keep all of this in mind for the upcoming lessons as we continue to work on your niche and start generating your first keyword lists. It's important, but not too hard. Just make sure you understand, and if you feel like you missed anything, make sure to go through this lesson again, because understanding these fundamentals with regards to keywords will guide you along your future use of them. So it's really important to understand those concepts correctly. A simple way to summarize the content and the ideas behind this lesson would be to ask yourself about keywords you're looking at. What does the searcher for this keyword what are they actually looking for? What are they going for? What's their intent? Do they want to buy something, or are they just looking for information? Are they looking to find a brand? Like, really try and empathetically get into their head and understand why they're searching for what they're searching for. And that step of reflection alone will get you 80% of the way there to make sure you use great keywords for your site.